Hello, my name is Karen Quick, best-selling author and founder of The Quick Six. And what I'll be sharing with you today is a strategy that I learned from one of my coaches, Jonathan Sprinkles. And it's a strategy that's going to help you better connect with your audience either at your next meeting or at your big presentation. And it's called the bus stops. The bus stops has helped me better connect with my audience during my presentations, and I know it will do the same for you. Have you ever felt like your audience was not connecting with you? That's been me multiple times. During your meetings at work, were people paying more attention to their cell phones and their laptop than they were to you as you sat up there presenting and pouring your heart out on this presentation? See, the problem is people's attention span nowadays are very, very short. And if you don't grab their attention quickly, we lose them in our conversation. And we lose the opportunity to build rapport with them and to set up credibility with them. That people will soon tune you out and leave you out there on an island by yourself looking for a rescue boat to be saved. In my book, Cubenomics, I talk about the value of building those relationships and building your credibility so that you not only build the relationships, but you build the right relationships. And what we will be discussing today is a strategy for you to do just that. So I will be sharing with you the connection strategy that my speaking coach, Jonathan Sprinkles, taught me during his Presentation Power event. It's called the bus stop. He also addresses this concept in his book called Presentation Power. And what a bus stop is a bus stop is moments in your presentation where you pause for a minute and share a story to build rapport with your audience. And therefore, the audience can see themselves in either your story and what you're sharing, and so they connect with you, right? So now is the time to learn the skill. So at your next big meeting or presentation, you're actually connecting and building that credibility and that rapport, and people actually hang in there with you on the bus and enjoy the message that you're sharing. So the last thing you want is to be standing in front of people and sweating bullets, wondering if they're going to start throwing tomatoes. That's not even cool. So we want to make sure that we are connecting and connecting in the right way. All right. So I'm going to teach you this concept of the bus stop. And it's just like a physical bus. You know how a bus is it picking up its passengers? It goes from bus stop to bus stop to bus stop. And so, and passengers get on. So that's exactly what this concept is. But you just do it in your presentation. So there's small moments in your presentation where you pause and you share a story. So you just finished sharing the concept, you pause and you share a story. And it reveals the circumstances behind why you're passionate about the topic. This will get your listeners to tune in and connect with you quicker and faster, right? So get a pen and paper, and I'm going to share with you some tips on how to use the bus stops. So quick tip number one, you want to write down your presentation or type your presentation. If you're on a computer, you can type it. If you're writing it, write it with a black pen. But you want to type out your presentation, and then you want to go quick tip number two, you want to go through your presentation and you want to put in a story and highlight it in red or highlight it in yellow, but you wanted to notate that that's where you're going to make a bus stop. All right, so insert those bus stops and highlight them is that quick tip number two. Quick tip number three is practice, practice, practice. I can't say this enough. You don't want to get in front and have your big day at a presentation and you have not practiced in inserting your bus stops. And you want to make sure that the bus stops you insert are relevant to the content. You don't want to be at McDonald's talking about Burger King, right? You want to make sure that if you're in McDonald's, you're talking about the Big Mac and you're not talking about the Whopper with cheese cut in half with onions, okay? So practice, 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 so that when you go in and have your big presentation, you know exactly what you're going to say in your presentation. You know exactly where you're going to make those small pauses to do your bus stops and share those stories where your audience can relate to the stories. And then you will give a superb speech to your audience, and they will like you, they will love you, and they will never stop listening. And also in Jonathan's book, he talks about the 5 P's. That's proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So share this video out. Sharing is caring. And then get to writing those bus stops. Remember, I am your sister, wanting you to always be audacious and willing to excel. Get out there and pick up those passengers.